Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lanilou and we are back with Planet Zoo Down Under. Now, just a disclaimer, if you hear any background noise, it is indeed my kitty cat. I obviously can't kick her out in this terrible weather, so you'll just have to bear with me with that one. So I already made this zoo entrance a few days ago before the pack was released. I kind of made it somewhat generic looking, but I took a little bit of inspiration in what I was planning to do with it eventually. So the white walls you see at the front and the sides, basically around the exterior I suppose, are going to change. I decided in the end not to change the roof, simply because I just think there was too much going on colour wise, so the black seemed to work. And also I did research what homes in Australia and buildings, what kind of roofing and such they would have, and if that's the metal cladding or something like that anyway is the roof, and whatever it is anyway, that's what came up, so I decided to use that. So here we're trying out some of the new wall pieces, and I didn't realise until later on they are actually lights as well, which is really cool. So we do end up moving these, but it's cool the way that you can change all three colours and make it really unique. I was kind of just playing around with like really colourful rainbowy kind of themes here because I just wanted to give the place a bit of colour, like it is kind of dull inside, you know. I just realised that I actually lost some of the pieces when I put it in the wall, but that does get fixed, so don't worry. I feel really excited for this pack because I absolutely love dingoes and kangaroos, and the koalas are so cute, but my favourite would be the dingoes. I think I just love dog-like animals in general. But yeah, I was really excited because I got to see some sneak peeks of what Lee has been up to with making his map on his Discord server. He shared a little thing like that, and he also shared his really funny intro for the Australia pack, which you should definitely go watch his first episode of Didgeridoo if you wanted to see that intro and just see what he's up to in general, because like he is so amazing. Moving on, then we have this lovely kind of shop front, or it wouldn't be a sign, but a shop front. Again, I believe a lot of the pieces in this pack were inspired by the indigenous cultures of Australia, and they also have an artist, John Smith. I'm going to butcher the end of his name. I think it's Gumbala. He is an indigenous Australian artist, and he has some pieces in the game, which I think is really cool, that they're not just looking for inspiration from photos or reference images or from people they might know from wherever the next pack is going to be. They're actually getting someone who is part of the culture, which I think is a really great, it adds a bit of accuracy to everything that we're seeing in the game, and I love that. I love this bench actually. I had a generic bench stuck in here when I was planning out this entrance plaza, and really I'm really happy that we got that that fancy looking bench. I was trying to add some bit of, I suppose, pizzazz here with adding some pillars and stuff around this lovely painting. This is actually one by John himself, but I decided there was too much going on with the two different wood themes, and I decided to just leave it as it is. And I think it would be unfair, and it would take away from his work also if I was to decorate around it, so I decided to leave it. And then out here we're just fixing the path, so obviously there's no path when you put down a blueprint, which bothers me, but it is what it is. I don't realise until very later on that toilet facility is halfway into the ground, but it does get fixed, And this will be on the workshop relatively soon when you guys see this, so if you do want to download it at any point, you can. Alright, so this is the ATM area. I know it has an information sign, but the signs for with the money symbol are just way too big in this game, so I thought information would be a better fit. I decided to be smart here, and you can see I'm starting to find the pieces I want, and I do it on the outside wall, and then I bring it in once the piece is complete. I didn't get this idea myself. I actually saw it on one of the staff building prefabs or blueprints, whatever you want to call it. But I thought it was a really good idea. So I briefly looked at everything, and I haven't actually looked at anyone's zoos really yet, because I didn't want to get too inspired by other people and then end up like copying them subconsciously. The only person I have looked at is Paulsley, and you know, he's a whole different ball game to me, so there's no chance of me copying him. But yeah, I realized here also that dingo section, it's in the wrong place, so I moved that over here, and then it's just a matter of changing all the coloring. So the easiest thing I found to do if anyone is doing this is select a few random ones around the place and start coloring them collectively. I made a mistake here, I realized, and then eventually I changed the colors. If they say there's two of the same pattern together, I do swap them around or change the colors or whatever. So by the time you guys see this, it's all fixed. My only kind of, I suppose, qualm about this is they don't look that great when the lights aren't on. I'm really not bothered clicking every single piece and making them like turn on, but maybe I will in my own zoo. But at the moment I think they're all turned off unless it's nighttime. But it's a very easy fix. It's tedious to click each and every single pattern and turn the lights on, which is a new part of the 1.3 update. Actually, you can now have the option to turn lights on in the daytime, which is really, really cool, especially for shops and things like that. If you're building a proper like building, you're not just sticking a little a shack down. So sorry, my cat is literally destroying everything I own. Oh yes, so I think I do the street lights here, the entrance lights. I absolutely love these. I didn't change the colors because I thought they were really nice as they were with the wood panel and like just the build in general. I think the colours suited, so I'm quite happy with how it turned out. And here you can see the absolutely lovely lights all lit up. I think they look so much better when they're lit up, so maybe I will go back and turn them all on, but you know, maybe not, I don't know, we'll see. And here I decided to do the exact same thing on the restroom side, just because I didn't want to have to go through changing each individual color again, so it's just the same on each side. Here I am realizing that the restroom was sunken into the ground. I added the extra pieces to the dingo one to make it look more full, and then I put them on the long wall this time in the restroom area, the opposite wall, because obviously there's no ATMs stuck on that wall. Oh yes, so I add the other picture by John, but I feel it looks out of place when I put the time to nighttime, because it's so bright and then it's, you know, that section is really dark. It's probably no surprise that I picked the big Australian map because it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it to pieces. I think it's beautiful. If it was in real life, it would be fantastic. Probably is in real life. Because this piece is so big, I put some supports on the back just for a slight bit of realism, because it's essentially just hanging there. I'm so sorry if you guys can hear my cat. She just has the zoomies. There's nothing I can do about it. So just some copper rods or bars or whatever, and fix them in place, make them look like they're supporting it, and then attach it to the roofing. But here I'm deciding on what rod pieces to use, what would look best with this, and I think overall it's fine. You know, I probably could have gone extra safe and had a support underneath as well, but it was like 1:30 in the morning. I personally am really happy with this. I even though I have like 80 hours in Planet Zoo, I'm always learning, and you tend, I find, to get stuck in a certain comfortable zone of building, and it does take an awful lot to come out of that. So I'm quite happy with this. It's not like anything else I've ever built, especially in terms of the roofing there in the center that you guys wouldn't have seen. I didn't record it, but I'm really happy with how I'm progressing. And geez, if you look at my very first video, my god, I have really learnt an awful lot, especially if you compare it to the red panda exhibit that I've made for what we've called Lanilou Zoo, because I can't pick a name. I've improved so much since then, like, but there's always room for improvement and detailing and stuff. It's not that I'm uncomfortable with detailing, it's just I never really think, oh, why does this look terrible? But that is why. It's because of lack of details. So with this build, I decided to go all out with all the pieces, and you know, it can appear a slight bit I suppose tacky with all the bright colours, but that's kind of, I suppose, what the team were expecting you to do with these wall pieces, you know. So I'm not bothered. I love colour and I will never not love colour, so you guys can either download it or not. It's your choice. Here I know you can get the what is it, the barrier, and make a little circle and have a perfect shape, but I really wasn't too fussed. I just wanted a circular looking pool in the middle, and that's literally what I wanted. So you will see in a minute why, and I'm quite happy with how this turned out. It's not completely finished yet, but pending next episode when we have some animals in here, it will be. So I decided to go with rough water because here I am building a big center piece of, I suppose it would be a big piece of land in the middle, I guess. Or I don't know, would it be just loads of rocks? I'm not really sure, but it's a big land mass anyway, and here I am desperately trying to get this even. But yeah, at the top of this there is going to be a lake or a pond, and I'm thinking of putting the crocodiles up there along with a visitor restaurant area, or like a food court looking down, because on each side of this mass is going to be an animal habitat underneath it. So I might see if I can work around that to get, you know, the kangaroo, the cassowary, koala and dingo all around the sides. And there's a few exhibit animals as well that are from Australia that did not come with this pack. They were just in the game already, but some of them have do originate from Australia, so I'll be adding those as well as the blue-tongued lizard. So I'm really excited for that. It's going to be quite a small zoo, but then we can move back onto Lanilou Zoo after. Oh yeah, it's also really important here, guys, if you find that the path is making funny indents in this, hello Freya, indents in the, no, you stay away from the computer please, funny indents in the soil, or the whatever it is, terrain, just make sure to etch out a bit, because it doesn't actually look that bad. It just looks like a little cave, I suppose, or kind of a shelter for the guests. It's very important, if you're planning on having water, that you don't go right up to the edge, but go as close as possible when you're going to put water in, because otherwise it doesn't register that you can put water there. So we don't have actual running waterfalls in the game. We have to use the special effect jets to create the waterfall effect. So just be aware that if you're ever building with planning on having water, you have to have a slight edge, but that can be covered with rocks or whatever. It's not a big deal. Lastly then, I just put in a path just to demonstrate where I wanted it to go, and that's basically it. Please enjoy some screenshots, and I will catch you in the next one, guys. Bye bye.